India's Changing News Consumption Habits, 2023 Digital News Report. The Reuters Institute's recently published 2023 Digital News Report has unveiled significant shifts in online news consumption patterns across the globe. The Reuters Institute for the Study of Journalism is dedicated to exploring the future of journalism worldwide through debate, engagement, and research. Key highlights of the report. Shifting patterns in online news consumption in India. In India, a remarkable transformation is taking place in the way people consume news online. The report indicates that Indians are increasingly turning to search engines and mobile news aggregators as their primary sources of online news, a trend embraced by 43% of the population. This shift marks a departure from traditional news websites, which are losing ground. Only 12% of respondents prefer reading news from direct sources, like newspapers, while 28% favor social media for news updates. Interestingly, the preference for watching or listening to news content over reading it is gaining traction among Indians. Regional contrasts in online news engagement. Regional disparities in online news consumption are evident. Scandinavian countries maintain direct engagement with established news brands, while Asia, Latin America, and Africa rely heavily on social media for news. Diverse preferences across countries. Preferences for news consumption vary widely across countries. Reading remains dominant in Finland and the UK, with 80% of respondents favoring this medium. In contrast, India and Thailand prefer watching news online, 40%, while the Philippines leads with 52% favoring video news. Impact of COVID-19 on news consumption. The COVID-19 pandemic has left its mark on news consumption in India. There have been alarming declines in both the reading and sharing of news, with access to online news falling sharply by 12 percentage points between 2022 and 2023. Television viewership, especially among younger and urban individuals, has also decreased by 10%. The decline in news engagement can be linked, in part, to the diminishing influence of the pandemic since the relaxation of lockdown measures in April 2022. Trust in news. Trust in news in India has remained stagnant at 38% between 2021 and 2023, ranking among the lowest in the Asia-Pacific region. In contrast, countries like Finland, 69%, and Portugal, 58%, enjoy higher trust levels. Countries with higher degrees of political polarization, such as the United States, 32%, Argentina, 30%, Hungary, 25%, and Greece, 19%, have lower trust levels. Challenges faced by India due to changes in news consumption patterns. 1. Misinformation and fake news. The shift away from traditional news sources and increased reliance on search engines and social media may contribute to the spread of misinformation and fake news, leading to public confusion, false beliefs, and social unrest. 2. Quality of journalism. A decreased preference for traditional news websites and newspapers could impact the quality of journalism. Independent and credible journalism may face financial challenges, potentially leading to a decline in investigative reporting and in-depth analysis. 3. Democracy and polarization. The influence of social media as a news source can contribute to political polarization, as individuals may be exposed to biased information, which can ultimately affect the democratic process. 4. Media trust. India's persistently low trust in news is concerning for a healthy democracy. Rebuilding trust in the media is essential for informed citizenship. 5. Youth disconnect. The drop in television viewership among younger people suggests a disconnect between traditional news mediums. Engaging and informing the younger generation through reliable news sources is essential for their civic education. 6. Dependence on algorithmic feeds. Relying on search engines and social media for news means individuals are exposed to content determined by algorithms. This may limit exposure to diverse perspectives and important news stories. Initiatives taken to curtail fake news in India. India has taken several initiatives to combat fake news. Information Technology, Intermediary Guidelines and Digital Media Ethics Code, Rules, 2021, These rules propose that social media platforms must delete content labeled false by the Press Information Bureau's fact-check unit to curb the spread of fake news and misinformation. IT Act 2008, Section 66A of the IT Act 2008 regulates offences related to electronic communication, including punishing individuals who send offensive messages through communication services or social media platforms. Indian Penal Code of 1860, this code regulates news that causes riots and information that causes defamation, holding individuals accountable for spreading fake news that incites violence or defames someone's character. Related authorities, bodies like the Press Council of India, Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, News Broadcasting Standards Authority, Broadcasting Content Complaint Council, and Indian Broadcast Foundation play roles in regulating and maintaining standards in the media landscape. Way forward. To address the challenges posed by shifting news consumption patterns, India can promote media literacy programs in schools and communities to help individuals critically evaluate news sources and identify misinformation. Encourage partnerships between fact-checking organizations, government agencies, and social media platforms to identify and correct false information. Explore enacting legislation similar to Australia's that mandates digital platforms to pay local media outlets for using their content, supporting the news industry and ensuring fair compensation for content creators, thus encouraging authentic and original information provision. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to Explanium today and discover a whole new world of knowledge and understanding.